Hey there. So earlier today I did my yard sale thingy, and basically I picked up Futurama, and that got me into thinking about something. Futurama was kind of like a spin-off of this show here, in a way. Not an actual spin-off, but like done by the same creative team of The Simpsons. The Simpsons, as you know, is a show that won't die, even though it's gotten really, really extremely bad. Futurama was fresh, it was new, and it was canceled. But will later come back on because it became that big of a cult hit in sales.
I think it's going off again.
Yeah, it's going on.
Yeah.
It's going to do one of those Simpsons crossover episode of. It's going to crossover like
Simpsons
a movie.
Simpsons also crossing over Family Guy this season as well.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. I don't understand how it'll work, but.
Oh, well, they did use his voice in the last season or something.
Yeah.
It's a different character.
Oh, okay.
But Futurama and The Simpsons are going to be crossing over, and Futurama is going to be ending. Futurama has been, by far and large, pretty much a cult show. Not everybody gets into it, but it is a much funnier show, better cast, I find, and much better written than The Simpsons was. But it wasn't the hit that The Simpsons is, and still to this day, it is more of a cult show than an actual extremely popular show. And by the way, I kind of like the lights aren't the greatest here tonight, so I apologize for that already. But hopefully you should see it. So what we're going to get into with today is we're going to be talking about 5 animated shows that aren't big shows, that got box sets, that are extreme, that we think are overlooked. Soda stream time and Cine D time. So the first one, the criteria for the list was should let out right now. No Batman, no Superman, no Super Friends, no overtly mainstream characters. That being said, you can have some spin-off characters or spin-off shows. So let's go with number 1. And these aren't done in no particular order. These are all shows that are in my collection. So you'll be able to see the box sets and shows that I do love. And we're going to talk about them a bit. Some you've seen.
Yep.
And some you hasn't.
That's also true.
But still, I've seen them all. The Zeta Project.
Which I have seen.
When Batman the Animated Series ended, and they brought
a spin-off of a spin-off.
Exactly.
Of a spin-off.
Sort of, yeah. Then they brought on Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond was a show that people were unsure of, and I'll be honest with you, I was unsure of Batman Beyond at first and where it was going, and it took a while for me to actually get into it. Now, one of the episodes of Batman Beyond starred a character, an assassin, that could change his basically his whole look, right?
Because he was a cyborg designed to kill.
Yeah, and that he got emotions, he got kind of feelings, and he could so he didn't want to kill anymore, and he basically wanted to do good. And that character's name was Zeta, and Zeta got his own show. Unfortunately, the show only lasted for 2 seasons, and again, it became more of a cult hit than anything else. It's called the Zeta Project, and it was a fun series. It was on, I think it was on Fox, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And it had a crossover too with Batman Beyond when it first started.
Yeah.
Now, the Zeta Project, I've only been able to grab the first season of it yet, and I do love the show. It's basically a fugitive show. You agree with that, right?
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Basically, it's a hunt show. He goes around from place to place with a teenage girl, and basically every week he's catching a different bad guy or helping somebody else while he's being hunted by an agent of the government. And, many agents, but there's one main agent, kind of like the guy would hunt David Kimball in The Fugitive, while he's trying to, get away and catch some one-armed man. And it's pretty much, Zeta just wants to be left alone and be human, but he's got a girl that he's starting to get, I think it's, would you say they're getting feelings?
I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I believe
It would have went that way, I
It's
think.
kind of, it's kind of like one of those, he's a robot.
Yeah, but
so
he's
it has
feelings.
one of the, but it's one of those, wow, you're a robot. In some cases there's oh, you don't understand how human things work. And she's the, oh, look at that.
Yeah, but in some ways, it
Cheesy
always
nice, but it's
usually it's
good.
kind of like, hey,
Yeah.
he's more human
Yeah.
than humans. And they go with that a lot, and it's a really good show. If you haven't
shown in the
checked it out, look at, you can see some of the animation. There's the 90s Batman Beyond type animation that you got there, and I actually found it really cool. So
I
I
like it
checked
more
the
than
Zeta
Static
Project.
Shock.
Yeah, it's
I like it more than Static Shock, which I never got into that much.
I like Static Shock, but you had to read the comics first. And number two is a much maligned character that's finally getting getting like respect in the new 52 DC world. But he
As
actually
always.
didn't. He was pretty much that character like, hey, let's all, the super friends would get together and like, hey, Batman, you do this. Wonder Woman, you do this. Aquaman, you watch the Fishbowl.
Yeah.
But Aquaman was a cool character, and this is a complete series, The Adventures of Aquaman. It's a pretty cool, cheesy animated series. It's not the greatest, but when it was done, it was still fairly good. But you know what's really cool about this? There's a really cool documentary, and I'm a really good big documentary freak.
Yeah.
It's called Aquaman, the Sovereign of the Seas. Retrospective featurette. It talks about the show, but also talks about Aquaman's place in history and comic books. And people forget what a serious character Aquaman was.
Yeah. A lot of them say he just talks to fish. He lost his hand. His son was killed.
His son, yeah, he was the first person to actually have a family member murdered, and he had his infant son murdered.
Yeah.
And this was not retconned. It was not taken back. His son was murdered, and he went from there. I was like, damn. Doesn't get much more harsh than that. And that's they talk about that actually in the retrospective, and it's really cool. I mean, if you can get that one for fairly cheap, it's a great, it's a fun cartoon. But the retrospective alone is worth it. I'll be honest with you. And the next show is one that you can actually talk about because you're a fan of the character, and so am I.
Yeah.
This character actually had a couple of series on TV, so he was much more popular back in my day in the '80s than I guess any other time. Just because he was kind of one of those wacky characters that could get away with a lot of this stuff. And his name was Plastic Man.
Plastic Man.
And if you know anything about Plastic Man, basically Plastic Man was a crook named Eel O'Brien, I think.
Yeah.
And he got this power to shape-shift himself, and he became like a good guy. Now, in the series Plastic Man, there's a Plastic Family series that was as well with the Plastic Baby. Pretty much Plastic Man can morph himself into any type of thing like a ball or like a
there are
slide under.
restrictions. He has to have the same colors as himself. But
But pretty much, he's got a girlfriend named Penny. He goes around the Plastijet, and he's got a sidekick that knows how to make out hula hula. Yeah.
Oh, hula.
I'm not big on hula hula.
I thought it might have been his actual sidekick from the.
No, they didn't use Winky.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, this is a 4-disc set. It's really cool, and one of the coolest things about this set is there is a really cool feature because in the 90s they were going to make another Plastic Man series.
Yeah.
And this Plastic Man series, because Plastic Man, by the way, if you watch the Justice League series, you saw Plastic Man in it, voiced by the person that voiced him actually in the 90s pilot. And
he was voiced by Tom Kenny in that?
Yeah, he was voiced by Tom Kenny, and people know Tom Kenny better as SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
From
Ice King from Adventure Time as well.
Yep.
If you watched The Batman, he was the Penguin.
Was he the Penguin?
Yeah.
Nice.
He does a lot of other voices as well. But, he was the voice in the pilot. As well as now.
It's a very trippy pilot.
Because the pilot never actually went to obviously, considering we don't have the box set here, and it never came on TV. The pilot never went past the pilot part, except for now with the new DC Nation thing they do with their shows.
There's some Plastic Man ones?
They're Plastic Man shorts
But
that have the same art design and same voice actor, Tom Kenny.
I've got to ask.
Yeah.
Did Kuriaka, did he have anything to do with it? It's got a very, kind of a retro, almost a Ren and Stimpy feel to it. And I'm not sure if they had anything that...
I think you did.
But it really has that look, that stylized look to it. And it's really cool. I gotta say, I'm a really big fan of that pilot, and I was so disappointed that they didn't do a series after watching it. It's very trippy, very different, very cool, very funny, very hip. It's something so of course the networks didn't get it at all. But Plastic Man is number 3 on our selection of shows.
Yeah.
The next one up is a hero that you may or may not have heard of. I'm a Hanna-Barbera fan, so I know them all. Actually, my last 2 are Hanna-Barbera characters, by the way. And that is Hong Kong Phooey. And have you seen Hong Kong Phooey?
No, I have no idea who that is.
Hong Kong Phooey is a janitor in a police station that jumps into a falling cabinet and comes out as a klutzy superhero, Hong Kong Phooey. Now, Hong Kong Phooey is voiced, I think, by Scatman Crothers, who did the voice of the really cool guy in
Scat Cat?
Scat Cat, yeah, Scat Cat in Aristocats. I love that.
Yeah.
And anyway, this is a pretty fun show. There was 31 episodes, and it's like it's just, it's not one of the big Hanna-Barbera shows, but it is one of the fun Hanna-Barbera shows, and there are some great stuff on there. It's a great documentary. There's a complete storyboard of an episode, and there's a commentary on 3 of the key episodes. So, for a small series that lasted like one real season, it's really cool to see it. And basically, there's a lot of like screwball type humor in this. There's a lot of like him trying his karate and messing up. Hong Kong Phooey was a really funny show, and he's got his Phooey-mobile and Kung Fu. And the last one is actually a spin-off, really, of a spin-off. When they wanted to do the Hanna-Barbera characters, they wanted to get them all in there. They did like specials, one-offs, like Yogi's Christmas and stuff like that. But they also did to get some of the lesser characters in there and get like people watching and stuff. They put some of the bigger characters too. A show called Wacky Races. That's not what I'm going to show you, because Wacky Races, I think, is as far as the spin-offs and things go, it's pretty popular, pretty mainstream show. Yeah. And most everybody has seen Wacky Races or has read the Hanna-Barbera comic book that came around in the 80s that had Hanna-Barbera that had Wacky Races in it. If you're a comic fan or a cartoon fan anyway. But the one I chose is actually a spin-off of Wacky Races. Wacky Races did have 2 spin-offs. One I don't have, so I didn't choose it, which is the Flying Machine of, of Mumbly and the other guy, the evil guy.
Yeah.
But the one I did choose was my favorite of my better halves, actually. I got it for her at the time, The Perils of Penelope Pitstop. And Penelope Pitstop basically is fighting against evil characters along the way. The main evil character is Sylvester Sneakily, and alias the Hooded Claw. She's a pretty cool character. It's like a fun show. It's like, again, it's like the funny and adventure animation type stuff on there as well. And she's pretty smart, aside from the fact that Sneakly's dual identity of the Hooded Claw is pretty damn easy to figure out, except for her. So she's kind of like Lois Lane in the original Superman cartoon. There's 2 retrospective featurettes on this one, Penelope Pitstop Spinouts and the Players in Perils. There's a commentary on 2 of the episodes with the voice cast and animation veterans. And I gotta say, overall, I am a pretty big fan of Penelope Pitstop. She is perfect.
Having not seen that show, I don't know what you're referencing.
That wasn't a reference, it was just alliteration. Again, so the 5 shows are, get ready to hold them up, dude.
Alright. Aquaman.
Yep.
Aquaman. Here we go. Plastic Man. Hong Kong Phooey. What's this? The Perils of Penelope Pitstop.
I love it. Alliteration.
And the Zeta Project.
If you have any more that you think would be really cool to watch, cool for me to check out, maybe some stuff I don't have, I would love to know. I'm a huge animation fan, as is he, and when I get animation, he gets to watch it. That is true. So, hope you enjoyed this video. This was our first really kind of serious video that we've done, really. We really want to act like serious.
Oh.
There's no wacky jokes in this one.
Not really, I know.
No red noses or anything like that.
Oh. Did we have any previous red noses? Maybe.
We did have a scribble outside.
Yeah, we did have a scribble outside.
Anyway, it's time for, I wish it was time for tea, but it's so freaking hot right now. I don't know if you can hear the rain outside there right now, but it looks like we're going to have like kind of a thunderstormy thing. So I'm hoping to get another video on now after this one's loaded up, but I'm going to drink more SodaStream, and I'm probably going to be making a bit more tonight. Carbonate your own drinks, guys. Save a lot of money on soda. It's time for SodaStream.